What up, and what up? Salute to my brothers.
Absolutely. Gunner, what up?
Tad,
what up?
My brother Tad.
What we doing,
Make
OG
sure you
Wisdom?
check out the OG Wisdom podcast. You know what I mean? You're in it live and raw from a Val Lagoon. Good show, my niggas. I love y'all.
Most of our leaders come out of organizations. You have to be a part of an organization to be an effective leader. But how do we determine if you're an effective leader if you don't organize the people? You can't just grab the mic or your phone, get on YouTube and say, yo, I'm a good leader because I think I'm a good leader. You have to have a track record of organizing people, setting goals and agendas and getting them done.
Yeah. Politicians I don't really like. Activism is different because, you know, you got a goal. It has nothing to do with politics. When you are activist, you know, it's for your people.
Make sure y'all get ready to tune in to my brother, my big brother, C Gutter and Tad, new podcast, OG Wisdom. Better tune in to that. A lot of jewels, a lot of knowledge, a lot of lifestyle, a lot of street talk, a lot of hood tales, real stories. Check it out. OG Wisdom, Tad, C Gutter.
Peace, family, peace. Welcome to another episode of the OG Wisdom Podcast with me, your brother Tad, and my brother C Gutter. C Gutter, when you ready, give me a thumbs up. All right. Peace, C Gutter. What's the word, man?
Right on.
Today we got a special guest. Continue the conversation of last week. Our expert historian. My sister Kay Fighter, while she work out her things in the background. Gutter, how's things been with you, man? How's this week been? Kind of set things on fire a little bit, you know. Folks, you know, he said we put our foot in Fat Joe's ass, and rightfully so. You know.
Needed a foot in there.
You say needed it? No doubt.
Not on the literal sense, but like
right, of course not the literal sense.
Need to get checked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what everybody like, bro, you're in black culture.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is black culture. Like let's you know what I mean?
Right. In black culture, then you're being disrespectful. Because you know, like we said, we all know a couple of Puerto Ricans we rock with, grew up with, but the blatant disrespect for black people who's been here, I think that's where the problem starts, and that's where it's going to end. You know, I think a lot of people think we're trying to create a divide amongst our people. One brother asked me, he said, Tad, well, let me ask you, are you African? I said, yes. He said, and I could rock with you. I said, I think what people missing is when we talk about African-centered education or whatever the case may be, because some of us acknowledge ourselves as African-American, but we talk about the continent and the diaspora. We talk about black people around the globe. Some people don't identify with being an African, and that's okay. That's their prerogative. They can do that.
I don't identify with being American. I mean, I'm American, but I don't identify
right.
with
and that's your right and your prerogative.
I think our people are African, black African, and indigenous people in America.
That's it, though. You hit it on that. We got our sister Keisha. Sister Keisha, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come in. All right.
And even the indigenous people are African. It's just that it's hard. They've been so far removed. It's like us. It's like any black person in the world. You're African, but you've been so far removed from the country that you created something different but parallel, because it's the same mores. It's the same cultural mores that was passed on.
Yeah. And out of our experience, we create other cultures. But some of us acknowledge our ancestry. And while our sister Kay Fighter get it together, because she got some things to say, she's actually out the country right now, you know. And you know, she always add another level because she's got to work with a lot of master teachers, scholars, some historical figures. And we're going to put this thing in context, because I think what's happening about blacks here in America, people are pissing in the pool. They twisting the conversation and they're attaching it to one person. Let's say they attach it to Tariq Nasheed. This is not his quote unquote movement per se, because this has already been existence. He's just telling people tap back into your own bloodline and your own ancestry, which I can respect because I had did the work over 10 years ago. So the stuff I'm putting on social media showing 150 years of my ancestry, that's old, because there's other information I have that I haven't posted yet, you know. But Sister Keisha, you ready to jump in here?
Yeah, I hope y'all can hear me. There's a little
We
bit
can
of
hear you
music
clearly.
playing in the background.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
we
You
can hear
good?
you.
Thank y'all for having me.
Nah, thank you for joining us. So, sis, you've been watching on the sidelines. You're the resident historian. Um, what's your take on last week's conversation? Right. I want you to talk about some of the works that you're currently engaged in terms of the museums and everything, in the direction you see Black people in America going.
Well, as far as what I've been hearing, it's a bunch of craziness. But again, it's to be expected, especially when we have allowed for so long others to tell our story. And that was the, clarion call for Frederick Douglass. He said, no longer will others speak for us. We wish to plead our own cause. And I think that a lot of people um, feel some type of way because we are staking a claim on not just our culture, but what we have created, not just for the United States of America, but the world in general. So it's important. It's very, very important that you understand what it is we mean when we say foundational Black Americans. Now, what that means is that you either have one or both of your parents who were tied to the lineage of enslavement here in the United States of America, and even prior during indentured servitude under the Dutch and various British entities. So, this is what we're saying when we say we identify ourselves as foundational Black Americans. Now, this is not a new term. This is not a new term at all. In fact, when you look at some of the papers that people like W.E.B. Du Bois, people like Ida B. Wells, people like Mary McLeod Bethune, and others who identified us as who we are, the nation's builders. So this term is nothing new. The problem that I see is that because we as a people here, I can only speak in the United States, but we as a people in the United States have always been inclusive, always embracing those who've come around us. So because of that lackness in our culture, not saying it's a good or bad thing, but because we do that, other people feel that they can stake claim to a culture that they did not create. Now, one of the things that we should understand is when we say we are foundational Black Americans, we are not usurping any history or any foundation that any other Africans throughout the diaspora have done. When you look at right now, I'm in Jamaica, right?
Yeah,
I
man.
respect I respect the culture, the heritage, everything about it. My husband, and he's sitting right across from me, but he could tell you I know the streets and the grill better than he does, right? So, but we embrace that. We embrace the music. We embrace the food, everything about them. However, we do not disparage everything that they have built. We do not stake claim to anything that they have built or started for themselves. But it seems that when we do it, it's problematic. And I think it's because it's bigger than culture. It also includes our fight with our oppressor in the United States and our many, many inventions that come along with that. So when you come into a country and the philosophy and the ideology of a culture of that nation is to disparage, demean, and disrespect foundational Black Americans, they adapt to the status quo. A lot of them, not all. And please, please don't misinterpret when we say that we are checking people, that we coming for everybody. That's ridiculous. We've always had allies. I, for one, believe in the principles and the philosophy of Marcus Messiah Garvey. Nobody embraced Garvey bigger and better than those of us foundational Black Americans in the United States of America. In fact, it was one of his members, Miss Minty Maud, who herself, foundational Black Americans, brought with her 300,000 members into the UNIA. So now that, like I said, we are stating claim to, yes, we invented the stoplight, we invented combs, brushes, cell phones, and the like. People are saying, well, hold on, well, you can't because I'm Black too. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So respect our culture and our heritage and everything that we have built, continue to do, and we know how to fight our oppressor on our soil. You fight your oppressor on your soil. You know the French better than we do. I'm not going to tell the nation of Haiti how to fight the French, what they should seek from the French. My job as a foundational Black American is to assist my brothers and sisters in their fight and never get in their way or block their success in their freedom fight. We have people from throughout the diaspora who come onto the soil of the United States of America and try to usurp what we're doing, try to block our fight, interject themselves into our political fight, especially when they know nothing about the foundation of the political apparatuses of this country. You can't tell me anything. What you can do is assist me and fall in line when a general asks you to. So, don't take this as a slight or any disrespect. Like I said, my husband, I've been married this past Christmas Eve. We've been married 25 years. He's a foundational Black Jamaican, period.
Come on,
So
boom.
there is no beef. My daughter's grandmother is from Haiti, upper class Haiti at that. So, you know, it's nothing with a beef or a riff. It's just that we're staking claim to what is ours and what we created. And you cannot usurp us. You will no longer block us. And for those who don't know, get ready for the new political movement. When we are, stating claim that we are delineating ourselves from the Democrat and Republican parties and starting our own and putting reparations at the forefront. We need our brothers and sisters to assist us in our fight. Because again, when you look at, as you said last week, Brother Tad, when Kwame Nkrumah himself said that it was the foundational Black American fight that drew him to a need for independence, drew him for more success in education to help his own people. So, like we assist you, we need you to assist us. And no, no. Sorry about that, y'all. But
It's
we don't need you to usurp what we're doing, and we won't usurp what you're doing. When we fight for our given birthright of reparations, let this be the continued blueprint of how you fight for yours. This is history. This is how it's always been done. We've always led the fight, and we will continue to do so. So don't be worried or dismayed by dissenters. Let's just keep pushing on. We are foundational Black Americans, and we are staking claim to what is rightfully ours.
so sis, real quick, because you just came in here throwing flames. We hear people say, "Well, y'all shouldn't get reparations. Y'all don't deserve reparations." And what makes y'all think y'all gonna get reparations? Slavery was so long ago. What do you say to people who have comments like that?
Well, here's the thing. A debt never goes away. When you die, if you have outstanding debt and you have assets, those debt collectors can therefore go after your assets to anyone that you would leave them behind with to stake claim of what you owe them. The original date of the United States is reparations to foundational Black Americans. We are seeking the original debt. It has come due. And if you don't pay the debt, we will destroy your political apparatuses by delineating ourselves from them. And that's more powerful. That's more powerful of a boycott than you can do against Amazon, than you can do against Target, than you can do against Walmart. If you can break this political system, you have done something in this country. So they don't want us talking about this. We're going to keep pushing forward. I don't care what they're saying.
No doubt, sis. Got anything you want to add on before I ask another question?
Um, she basically said it like a mouthful. Then like for anybody outside of outside of America, and you are African outside of America, no matter where you're born, you know what I'm saying? Understand that our fight, the reason our fight is at the forefront because we're the only population that the majority of the population when we got here, you know what I'm saying? When they put us and snatched us from here and there and blah 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 blah, wasn't the majority.
Right.
In certain places, it was the majority, especially the South. It's still like that in the South.
Yeah.
We the majority of the population in the South. Even though motherfuckers left and escaped, blah 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 blah, we still gonna reproduce like we reproduce.
Yes.
Whereas the European doesn't do so.
No.
That's why they fighting for all these other people to come in. Now that's why the Europeans is mad at Elon Musk because he wanted to bring a bunch of Indians in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now they done fucked the whole thing up because it's now you ask for us to get fucked around. But not knowing that we're gonna excel regardless. Because we're used to this.
Yes.
We used to this. So when people tried to explain certain shit to motherfuckers, they thought just like Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yes.
His favorite line. Well, my favorite line from him. If you teach the lowest white man that he better than a black dude, he'll let you pick his pockets. Matter of fact, he'll give you anything he got.
Yeah. And you know, you hit it on the head because that's what we're fighting. Because again, people are conditioned that when they come here, they're better than us. You and I know that we're the resilient people. We're the ones everybody around the world is imitating. No matter what we've done, like we talked about last week, all the culture we created, all the music.
That's another thing I want. Like that's what a lot of people don't understand about Africans from America. It's not we praise the government. We praise our resilience.
Yes. Yes.
We praise what we were able to do through all of this. That's the same way as Jamaicans, Haitians, you know what I mean? All our people in the Caribbean. But now it then got to a point where people actually take on nationalistic ideas instead of their people.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now it's the country opposed to the people. You black, but you raising up like look at the Caribbean parade, bro.
Yep.
My people is from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll raise the flags, but a lot of the younger generation forgot why people is proud to be from where they from.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the flag and the government.
And the
it has
government.
to do with what your people went through. They still here and they prospering. But even Americans, I didn't see. You know how many young American black dudes say some of the most asinine shit. Like they'll say we and blah blah blah, and I'll be like we. Like, and I'm not even one to even praise. Like I acknowledge what we did in the military, but I can't praise us going to kill people that look like us. You see what I'm saying? I can't praise that. I acknowledge, you know what I'm saying, through all the struggles, we were able to do this, that, and the third. But then when you look at it, when you really look at it, it was in service of white supremacy.
Yep.
Unknowingly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the people that like our ancestors that went and fight didn't know.
Right. And they was lied to. They was like, you fight this war, when you get back, we're gonna bless you with
Yeah,
this.
exactly. So they was tricked.
Yep.
But now we gotta come to the point where the tricks is over, bro. Like niggas is still getting tricked.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not even against brothers going in the military for certain training, but know what you going for.
Right. Like the
You know
spook
what I'm
who said
saying?
myself.
Exactly, as opposed to going for the government, you're going for your people. You're
Right.
going to learn all the tactics you need to teach your people.
And you know, it's funny you say that, right, Gutter? Because we could go to the historical point of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. This is why the bomb was dropped, because a lot of the brothers that was there. First of all, for those who may not know, you may
Yeah,
heard of
this came back in World War One.
Right. So what happened was,
this shit that was going on before ain't going on like that.
yeah. So because for those who may not know, what happened was there was a white woman who tripped on the elevator, landed on a black man, and she said he groped her, tried to touch her. You know, this is when we was definitely segregated. So they arrested him. Once he was arrested, other white people was like, they're gonna take him out of jail and delete him. And the brothers of the community was like, no. Them white folks came, the brothers gripped up, they backed them down. They was fighting for days. Then they started getting other Europeans from surrounding towns, and our people, because they had that military training, like Gutter was just talking about, they was able to back down thousands of Europeans. And the only way they got a leg up is somebody when they got a crop duster with sticks of dynamite and just started throwing them out the planes, dropping them on our folks. But other than that, we took those military skills and we used them to our advantage, to Gutter's point of what he's talking about. And that's why it's important we have these conversations of resilience. As Sister Keisha just said, this ain't to knock other people, our continental and our diasporan brothers and sisters. But at the same token, you're not gonna come in our house and disrespect us.
This is what it is, and this what I want to like let a lot of people know. And excluding the people that's coming now, because you know it's a lot of refugees coming from the continent.
Yeah.
But prior to that, the majority of the people was coming was people that had money, bro. So it's a class thing.
Yeah.
It's a class thing. But you still end up stuck in the hood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the shit been ingrained in them from their country.
Yes.
Because the white supremacists know who to pick to come
over here.
Yeah, or wherever. They get the niggas from over here, the good Negroes from over here to go wherever they
send them, yeah.
This is global, my nigga.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that this shit is global. You know what I'm saying? They just think that Americans got house niggas. No, you got house niggas from everywhere. And the normal people hate them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been to Ghana, I've been to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? The first thing them motherfuckers start talking about is some corrupt government official.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? That they hate. So it's and the majority of the people that get to come over here and get them visas, bro, they family had money. You're not coming over here dead broke, my nigga.
Nah, because you got to pay for them visas. Them visas ain't free.
Not no nigga.
Or
you see what I'm saying? But so much shit been ingrained in them already because they was oppressing their people over there.
Yep. You hit it on the head. And that's what I also want people to know too. Like, there's conflicts, political corruptions. You know, shout out to Underworld Crime Journals. You know, that's my bro. But he's continental. You know what I'm saying? And me and him had a dope conversation because he was like, yo, he learned so much last week just from me and you building. You know, because though he was born here, he was moved home. He was moved back to Africa for a little while, then brought back here as a youth. So he pretty much was raised here, but he talks about the difference. He talks about, you know, how he was treated as a young African coming from America.
Oh yeah,
it's
get the same shit
conversations because we all
do. Yeah, you know? Because bro, like I said, it's not also a class thing. It's a cultural clash. You know what I'm saying? Even though our culture is similar, no matter where you go, it's certain things that oh shit,
Right.
That's
It's a
just like,
different expression.
yeah, it's just a different, you know what I'm saying? A different accent, a different language or whatever, but it's similar. But
Yeah.
then the the differences, nigga, they point them out immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like over here.
Yeah.
Bro, I was down south. I was getting called what they call African booty scratcher, all that.
Yeah.
I got an African name, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I don't have a Leroy or
Right.
Tyrone or, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting it. Nigga, they had the BALOGUN, you know what I'm saying? They had the Oscar Mayer joint for me. So I already know it's kids, bro. And
Right.
what you
The mean
don't know,
regardless.
what you don't know,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And what has been perpetuated through our media, motherfuckers automatically latch on.
Yeah.
I remember I'm being at a and we kids, like we little kids, and niggas talking about, yo, watch Charles Dance so we can watch the Jujus. So I didn't know he was talking about.
Right.
The nigga was talking about the Africans.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, yo,
And
it's
because
crazy.
our
It's
folks
because
didn't have the history or the knowledge.
exactly.
And even those who are coming now as adults still don't have the history and the knowledge because
They're not getting taught that in
Americans are. It's from a racist
they
representation.
not getting taught our history in their country.
Right.
They don't get taught their history.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Like, beyond, like
who we are.
All right, like I was talking to some brothers in Ghana, and the dude, I was talking some shit, and they was like, bro, they don't teach us that shit. And I'm like, damn, my nigga, you know, what's the name from Senegal, and this dude is from here, and boo boo boo. It's like they getting taught the same thing the same way that we get taught, the same thing applies in those formerly colonized countries.
Yeah.
That's why I love Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso. It's 3 countries: Niger, Burkina Faso, and I think Mali. They got a pact where they cut off France. They just rolling for Dolo, and they dealing with only Africans.
Yeah.
For the most part, like they dealing with they partners in the area.
Yes.
And they
looking to bring countries in.
And they ain't inviting Ghana or Nigeria, you know what I'm saying, into their pack. And this is my thought.
Not yet, till they get their stuff cleaned up.
Yeah, get rid of the crackers.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like when y'all get rid of Great Britain and America out of y'all affairs, then we could fuck. Then, you know what I'm saying? Then we could fuck around. Until
Thank
then,
you from Brooklyn, the Sahel Alliance.
Yeah, the Sahel Alliance.
Thank you, bro. Yep. Sister Keisha, I want you to jump in here too, because moving forward, we see the hip hop thing. Why is it so important that we stand against people who try to stake claim to hip hop, particularly Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe? Because as New Yorkers, us 3 are New Yorkers, we looked at them as part of the soil. And we embrace them. You know, we here in New York, it's different from the rest of the country. We live in a bubble right next door to Caribbeans and Spanish and all kind of people. But the rest of the US ain't like that. So people think we're just beating up on Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe. Sister Keisha, talk to why it's important that we push back on a lot of statements that they've made.
Well, if we don't, it'll end up the way country music has, the way jazz has, the way rock and roll has. They will pick up and sell back to you what you put down. So we got to stay claim on what's rightfully ours. We can't continue to do that now. Our people, that is, are re-embracing jazz, re-embracing country music, and rock and roll.
Because
But
they learn
we
the history.
can't. Right. And I would employ anybody who's a lover of music in general to take a trip to the National African American Music Museum in Nashville, Tennessee. There you will see the writings of the original artists, that is, country and jazz. They never called it jazz, but white folks called it jazz. And I'm not making that up. That's what the original artists said. But if you go down there and you read their interviews, where they answer very plainly. I think even Miles Davis himself said these are names that you all put on it. This is just down home black music, period, that we created out of our suffering. So again, using his own words, we created out of our suffering. The same with hip hop. We created out of our own suffering. We weren't allowed to go to a lot of these nightclubs, at least in the late 60s and the early 70s. Now, in the mid 70s and beyond, that was something different. Now, I was born in 1970. However, I spent a lot of time with my aunts and uncles. Some of them who had boyfriends or girlfriends who were owners of these establishments, right? You couldn't get a lot of the music we were into played in those arenas. So, when you look at people like DJ Sabaz or, all of those, the twins from Queens and all of those cats who were doing this music before it was called hip hop, right? Which is a mantra from a song of another legendary artist giving, kudos to friends of his who were going into the military. That's where hip hop comes in at. So we were calling it something prior to that. But again, in the mid 1970s and early 80s, when this thing started to take off,
I think they
it
just
was
called it
inclusive.
B-boying at that time, right?
Say that again?
In the mid 70s, they just called it B-boying. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
white people came up with the phrase hip hop from
What?
somebody's song saying hip hop you don't stop.
Right, right. And so if we don't stay claim, this is the thing that happens. Other people can identify what you create. Other people can make an economy out of things that we create. We have a nasty habit of creating things and putting it down and let other people come in and take it over. Now, hip hop in particular, I have a little bit of problem with because um, its foundation came from brothers in the street and sisters in the street. How you allow some stringhead Yurugu to take what you create and profit off, I got a problem with that. Because if you was that tough on the block and in the streets, and you wasn't on that tough with them cats in the boardroom, I got a problem with that. So now you
I don't
have
not to
you
cut
have a
you off.
problem. Hold on.
Let me just
Now
say
you
something.
got a time. Go ahead. What you
I
say?
just want to say something. I
Go
don't
ahead.
think none of the people that were in that position were the ones that was going in the boardrooms. It was the dudes that was acting like those dudes. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? And they got the money, and then as usual, you know what niggas do. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Not that I'm saying that in the sense of when you do nigga shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So now it's a time to reclaim what wasn't done back then. Now is the time to fix that problem for generations that's coming up after us. We have to
Yeah,
fix this problem. So again, I love the conversations that are being had because it has to be done. And anybody who tell you in warfare, you better study the mistakes better than you study the victories because it's the mistakes that will make you the victor in the next fight. So we are learning from our mistakes and trying to fix those mistakes. And other people got problems with that.
Right. The other night, shout out to Doggy Diamonds. He interviewed Raheem from
Yeah,
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. And to your point, Sister Keisha, about the people who were in the boardrooms, he talked about Sylvia Robinson just taking the money. So again, it's folks who look like us who don't have our best interest.
yeah,
Because
doing nigga shit.
and shout out to our sister Tammy Rent, Sister Tam on the 1-2.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's what I'm saying. It's like doing. Well, they ain't even they doing Urugu shit.
yeah,
That's what they really doing. They doing
yeah.
Urugu shit. They like
exactly.
it's
Even
it's
going back,
like
like you
every
go to even
every nigga that every beat somebody is look who was they teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Look who was they teacher. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? I just like I had to retract and the nigga should know it's the Urugu shit. Cause a nigga ain't gonna never do that. They're gonna get he gonna get his people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
And
try to
now's the
beat,
time to
we're gonna
correct
try
that.
to
Now's
we're
the
gonna
time
try
to
to
fix
beat
it.
we're gonna try to beat these motherfucking Urugu out of whatever we can. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do what we do.
Right. Get the money from them by hook or crook.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
unfortunately,
Now it's time to take what's rightfully ours.
and
And if
people
you
are
if
getting
we
Gotta-
not, and I know we're not ready to do it
we gotta start
militarily,
acting like
but we
Brad
got to
Rabbit.
do it politically. So we have to begin with a foundation. In order to break this system, we have to begin with a foundation. And this is the stepping stones that we got to go through. But we're gonna keep pushing through, no matter what anybody says.
yeah, yeah. And I'm glad we having these conversations now because with Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes, because we're knocking what they said. Fat Joe pretty much and Busta Rhymes, I was disappointed in, because in his interview, he said Latinos and Caribbeans give urban communities their flavor here in America. Now, you could try to run that on New Yorkers, which ain't true.
He's
Which ain't true.
wild, my nigga.
But right, you can't say that about Louisiana,
Like now,
California.
don't
You
get it
can't say that.
wrong. Like in New York, we picked up certain things, you know what I'm saying, like wallows and shit like that. But we put our flavor on it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Niggas wore it like New Yorkers. We didn't wear them like Jamaicans.
right.
We didn't wear
And
bellies like
you
we
know,
wore and don't get it twisted. Like I told you, my background, but I didn't wear bellies like them.
right,
I wore bellies with jeans, my nigga. I was not wearing
right,
no big foot pants in '85. I'm just keeping it real.
right,
I'm not wearing no tailor-mades. Never
right,
ever. You know what I'm saying? That's the Americanness. You see what I'm
right.
saying? That's the American. Like that the same thing with Big. Like Big would do certain shit that is like,
Nah,
nah,
bro.
bro, I'm not doing that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. Like, then that's what we were standing on. It's like, nah.
right, right. But
Yeah, Clark's English, but who colonized Jamaica for longer?
right.
So you get all the British brands in Jamaica first before they hit.
Yeah,
I don't know if people know that.
right, right, right.
I don't know if
And
people did know that.
definitely to everybody who's here for the first time, we definitely want to thank y'all. Like, subscribe, share if you find value in this content because we just here to give you the real. You know what I'm saying?
But
Also,
see, Black
follow.
Americans in Harlem and the Bronx wasn't wearing wallows either.
Now that's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying?
You from Brooklyn? That's
And that's the
what I'm
fashion
saying.
mecca of the world.
And that's what I'm
Harlem was the
saying.
fashion mecca of the world. So
But this is what I'm
they've been
saying. Brooklyn.
we've been doing it way
This
before hip hop.
this is the thing. Is what's so crazy is people don't understand. We even have different cultures within New York City.
Because Harlem and Brooklyn is different.
I'm talking about subcultures within the culture
Yes.
and within Black culture. Like Harlem niggas is different from Brooklyn niggas. Bronx niggas is different from Harlem niggas.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Even in Brooklyn, Flatbush niggas is different from Bed-Stuy niggas.
And we all different from Brownsville.
Yeah. Well, Brownsville, that's the I ain't gonna lie. That's the heart of bullshit in Brooklyn.
Everybody from Brooklyn,
like back in the days, every block nigga wanted to fight you. That's the heart of bullshit.
Different.
That's like going through Fort Greene. You fighting somebody, my nigga.
Yeah.
You're not getting through the PJs without fighting somebody.
And Sister K fighters from
And they're gonna find somebody your size. No, I got somebody for him. Dead ass.
Gotta taking it back. But that's the truth though.
But see, this is what I wanted to point out. Like, bro, if we're gonna keep it all the way real, bro, You know we couldn't go in those Spanish neighborhoods like that.
Nope.
I'm talking about all like majority Spanish neighborhoods.
Right.
See, Joe is talking some shit that's I don't, because I can't speak on his neighborhood in particular. He must have lived in a 100% mixed neighborhood. You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where's damn near down the line 50-50 Puerto Rican and black.
Right.
You got neighborhoods like that where motherfuckers is, but bro, if you go to certain parts of Bushwick, you're not welcome.
Word.
Go to certain parts of LES, you were not welcome. Certain parts of East New York, you were not welcome. Uptown, Spanish Harlem, I caught my first case there. You were not welcome. So let's keep it real, my nigga.
You know, my grandmother
lost a brother. Like we really had beef at one time.
My grandmother lost a brother in Spanish Harlem.
From the streets to the penitentiary, my nigga. So let's not get nothing twisted, my nigga.
Yeah, and you say that, and it's been going on for a long time. My grandmother,
bro, come on. It's like he's
a brother who was deleted up there.
Like this is part of the culture. Don't think what goes on in the streets doesn't affect hip hop, my nigga.
Right. As we see.
But it always has been like that because it's a street culture. It came from the streets.
Right.
Hip hop didn't come from the boardroom. That's some shit the boardroom created. Hip hop always came from the streets. Whether it was South Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, because and that's another thing is like Joe is making is like only South Bronx was doing that.
Right.
Come on, my nigga. It's like, and like I wasn't even living in New York at the time. I was living in Mississippi, but I was, back and forth. But I know what I know. Nigga, when I came back, I knew what streets not to go on with all the poppies is gonna whoop your ass. Every nigga from New York told me that every time I came up here. What was the joint back in the days? Niggas like the Puerto Rican gang, the ball busters. Niggas like, yo, you don't want to get caught by the ball busters. Niggas is talking about that. Nigga, I ain't never met one of them niggas in a day in my life. And this is what I heard as a little kid.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So come on, my nigga. It's like, let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
It wasn't no rainbow flag in New York City, my nigga.
Or that coalition everybody keep talking about.
Yeah, come on, let's stop it, my nigga.
Sister Keisha, I also wanted you to talk about a lot of trips you do to these museums where a lot of this stuff is archived. Like just our history outside of hip hop music, just the contributions that Black people in America have made to the building of this society. Because I think, and what I always want to make clear is we're not just using Fat Joe as a punching bag. It's just that he's been the most vocal. And in his response, it was disrespectful.
Yeah.
As opposed to saying, I apologize, I misspoke. Same thing for Busta Rhymes, Busta Rhymes, you was part of the soil, coming from Brooklyn, Flatbush, but then to say that Americans have no culture, to say that Latinos and Caribbeans give the urban community its flavor. Black people made the urban community before there was Latinos and Caribbeans. We are the urban community.
But this
to say y'all give it flavor.
This is what's so funny is like, bro, Bus, you are
right there. That's your bro.
My nigga.
That's your dude.
You around my age, my nigga. You know what they was calling niggas. You have too many colors, you either getting called Jamaican or Haitian. Come on, my nigga. Let's be real. Let's be real. Come on, my nigga. Niggas was wearing fucking Paco and shit like that. Come on, my nigga. It's like, let's be real. Come on, my nigga. This is my community as well. Feel me? We gonna keep it 100, my nigga. A lot of niggas couldn't dress. Niggas got their flavor from us. Let's keep it real, my nigga.
It's not fair, Gutter. You gonna make me pee on myself. This is not fair.
It's just a K fighter. I want you to talk about. I want you to talk
Nah,
about.
cause like I got jokes all day. You know, I snap on a nigga all day. Come on, my nigga. Like, let's be real. Niggas had jokes on me when I came back. You know, I was like a year behind. Nigga, I came back. I had some Lees, some khakis, and some Pumas. I thought I was the shit. Niggas was wearing Filas, Nikes, and all that shit. Niggas is killing me, my nigga. Believe me, niggas is killing me. So I know I had to step my game up immediately. And I played ball and wanted to be fly. So you know what I did. So that's we ain't even gonna go into that. But this is what I'm saying. Come on, cuz.
Right. Tell them stop acting like you imitating
like niggas was not imitating niggas, my nigga. You had it's like the community. I give you a perfect example, homie. If you go to LA, you have black niggas that's Serenos. You have Mexican niggas that's in the community that's either Crips or Bloods. You see what I'm saying? Depends on the community you grew up in.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you grew up in a majority Black American community and you of Caribbean descent, you was not dressing like no Jamaican, my nigga.
Word. Even if you was.
Believe me. I'm speaking from. Come on,
we know it's true. Got it. It's just funny your delivery. But I want K Fighter to talk about these museums because she does a lot of extensive research. I mean, I don't think people know our sister K Fighter, like I said in the introduction, work with a lot of master teachers, Black historical figures. She's still doing research in terms of taking people to the museums to get this real information that's not easily accessible on YouTube, which everybody do they study. I think us three here actually read books and don't just look at a video to get information. That's why we try to give our audience the best.
I watch videos after I read the book so I can get a visual, like
as much information as possible.
Dr. Clark and Dr. Ben and Ivan Van, like I watch they shits because I've already read everything. So just them seeing them talk about it, and then they give you more information within the information they give you because they wrote what they wrote, but then they give you some added information in them videos. So that be the only reason I get, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But
I don't just take somebody's video as, you know, nothing for real.
Yeah, but K Fighter, in the museums, because like you said, you've been to the African American History of Music Museum out in Nashville, Tennessee. Talk about some of the things you discovered in the New York museums that you think people should know and where they can find a lot of information.
Oh, sure. But first, let me go back to one thing that y'all was talking about when it comes to fashion. Um, Harlem has always been the fashion mecca of the world, period. And I worked in the fashion industry for over 30 years and still in that industry. A lot of these folks that we call in the hip hop community, I helped get a lot of them deals with shoe brands. So anyway, the first Caribbean Day Parade was actually held in Harlem, at the Audubon Ballroom, to be exact. So we've always been embracive and inclusive of everybody. It's not been, we following somebody else's fashion. Like Gutter said, they was looking out crazy out here with them hot clocks on in summertime. You was getting laughed at. That just wasn't the thing. But
yeah, corduroy.
yeah, we was doing that. Big ass hot hats and gabardine suits in the summer. We wasn't doing
you
that.
got corduroys, but you got the Ganzi on. No, the Ganzi is the neck shirt. You got the corduroys, but you got the Ganzi on. Come on, my nigga. Bust know what I'm like. Come on, bro. Yeah, come on, bro. Poppies too. Them niggas is wearing skinny jeans before anybody. Them tight ass bottoms of their jeans, and them shits was creased. Come on, my nigga. Like all these niggas know. Come on. All these niggas know. Every last one of them, bro. Cause
We
that's
always
what
been the leaders
like
of
my
fashion.
generation, that's what we did, bro. That's what we did.
That's
We was
right. We've
the
always
sneakerheads.
been the
Like,
leaders.
you got to remember, we was the sneakerheads. We was the generation that started sneakerheads, my nigga. We was the niggas that started for the young cats, um, for the young cats, Timbs, Air Force Ones. This is my generation. That niggas is shit that still niggas still wear.
Harachis, dunk.
Staples.
Look at
No,
dunks
I'm
of that.
talking about that staples in niggas fashion shit now
Yeah.
was our creation. We made dunks hot.
Whoa. Whoa.
NBs, Asics. All this, that's all the shit we was wearing, my nigga.
Whoa. And that's after the Nikes and Pumas and all of that.
Yeah.
Because we had Pro Kids and
My
Converse
nigga, we
first.
like,
Then we
bro,
went to
once
Pumas and
once
Nikes.
once
And
the mid-80s hit, my nigga, once them, because you got to remember, this is Ralphie Boys, the low lives and all that. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this is my generation that we cemented all. So nobody can tell me how they did anything. Because I was there.
right.
I was there. None of Bus,
Facts.
Joe, it's no, bro, it's no rapper around my age can say anything in the shit
Listen,
that I'm
like I
saying
said, I'm right here, right here.
because I was
Whether
in the
I'm in
streets.
Kingston or over here, you
I was
see people
I was in the
emulating y'all
streets
fashion,
during that time.
especially black men. Period.
Yeah.
Period. They emulate your fashion. Period. Period.
Because
We
you
used to
made our
have
smack,
we used
our
to have a
walk,
driver.
our
We
talk,
used to have
bro,
a car pick us up, and we used to ask, what you want us to bring you, when we come across. Or he wanted the latest fittest or the latest snapbacks. Period. And that's what we paid him. And fitted and snapbacks. That's what
bro,
he wanted. To
bro.
copy everything that y'all was doing. Period.
I done seen damn near every other culture wear fronts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
We
then you gotta remember, the only motherfucker, this is one thing I can say is about Caribbeans. See, that's a black thing. Because I didn't see Africans with gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? And this is back in the days, but not on no like it's dental shit. Like
right.
they was getting gold teeth because most of them motherfuckers had them shits on the side where it wasn't no trying to show it off. It just
Right.
you see them smile like, oh shit. You see what
Gotta
I'm
go.
saying? But I think that's that's a black cultural thing. But outside of black people, I never seen nobody else wear fronts, my nigga.
Yeah. That's a fact. Not even Paul Wall. But y'all, we get ready to come to the 3 o'clock hour. Get ready to wind down and close it up. Um, got anything you want to leave the people with before we go?
Man, I know everybody around my age from that sneakerhead era, fashion, hip hop fashion era. That's my era. Nigga can't tell me nothing, bad, bro. I was there until I got locked up. Once I got locked up, I can't speak on shit.
Right.
You know
Pulled
what
you
I'm
out.
saying? But when I was out there running around, when niggas closed Herman's from running in there, closed Gimbals from running in there, nigga, we closed stores. I'm just saying the youth of my era closed stores, my nigga.
That's
Herman's is nowhere around because of the low lives and other niggas that ran in that store.
yeah.
That's
Sister
a fact.
Sister K Fighter. I
So when
want
niggas start talking about fashion from the 80s up to the 90s, yeah.
yeah. Sister K Fighter. I want you to talk about your museum trips, how the people can follow you, and definitely got to tell them about Thorough Black Talk.
Oh yeah, I take people, to various museums and, historical societies in particular, because that is where you can get a lot of information. The National Archives in DC has a record of each and every one of us who are foundational Black Americans. You hear what I'm telling you? Do not believe anything different. They have a historical writing of each and every one of us, and it's there. You can go and view some of it. Some things, depending on what it is that you want to research, you have to book an appointment for. And I normally do that whenever I go to DC. I pre-book an appointment. But here in New York City, there are a litany of museums that you can visit. We just came back from the Morgan Museum and Library. That's the personal library and collection of J.P. Morgan and the Morgan family. There is information that is in there will blow your mind. Not just the artwork, but some of the original writings of books, period, are there. When you look at, they even have an exhibit of the first Gutenberg Bible. On the cover of the Gutenberg Bible is bedazzled with jewels that are worth in the millions. When you open the book, they have it open on display for you. There is wood from the cross of Jesus Christ in that display. When you go to that museum, you are not allowed to wear a coat. If you are, you can wear a light jacket. You can't carry anything in your hands. You are not allowed to record. Like I said, this is the personal library and museum of the Morgan family. And you got to move, stealth pretty much in there, because the security will be on your ass. When you go to the New York Historical Society, the same thing. The information that is there, even down to when you talk about fashion, they have an exhibit on fashion that was worn by our enslaved ancestors, and the type of clothing that they wore dictate the type of job that they had. So that is a brilliant exhibit. I took a group of children to the Brooklyn Museum, which has on display what Donald Trump recently stated, that, he's going back, allegedly, to giving black folks jobs that are rightfully theirs. During FDR's administration, he had a sit-down meeting with Mary McLeod Bethune, A. Philip Randolph, and a couple of others, and worked out a plan for jobs specifically for foundational Black Americans. So when you see people today who are working in the transit system, who work in the educational systems, who work, for example, if you live in NYCHA housing, all of those jobs within NYCHA originally belonged to the tenants, who are foundational Black Americans. We were the first tenants of those complexes. That was written in the RAND contract. However, you see a lot of people who are social workers, case workers, who are janitors, and so on and so forth, who don't look like us or who don't come from this soil. But those jobs were set aside specifically for you. Um, when you look at the legislation, and this is on display at the Museum of the City of New York, of Adam Clayton Powell's legislation. He specifically wrote legislation for jobs and education for us. But because we don't study history, we don't study politics and how it works, other people have come and used those bills and laws to their advantage. And we are still out here begging for what was rightfully given to us. So that's what I'm saying. When people say, well, they're not going to give us reparation, it was already mandated to be so. The problem is you've been distracted with other things and not stand steady on your fight. But again, you can follow me as K Fighter on Instagram, or Thorough Black Talk Worldview on Instagram and Facebook. We are live every Thursday evenings, 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. We often announce when we're going to have museum trips. You can accompany us and see some things that you've never seen before, or see things that you know of, but a deeper understanding, because there is more information available to you. So, yeah, that's it. That's where you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, X, over there as well.
Sis, I want to thank you so much for joining us. This is your home too. Enjoy the rest of your vacation out there in sunny Jamaica. Give love to my brother Rohan. Tell him not too much jerk chicken and ting in them over there. you know. And we definitely want to thank everybody for rocking out with us.
And laugh off at anybody you see having Kaderai and Ganzi.
Yo, we want y'all to like, subscribe, and share. We here every Sunday at 2 p.m. between 2 and 3. Sometimes we go overtime. Sometimes it's 2 to 4. But we definitely thank y'all. Again, follow Thorough Black Talk Worldview every Thursday. And you can also follow on Instagram, all right? So y'all stay up. We definitely appreciate y'all for rocking out with us. We catch y'all next week.
Peace.